big omissions for Australia. Obviously, Pat Cummins, I believe, is not going to be captaining. It's going to be Mitchell Marsh, and there is a big miss at the top of the order in Jake Fraser-McGurk, who wasn't actually upset by not getting picked, apparently.
Look, I think he would have been disappointed.
Yeah,
What a player! What a player! Like, it's really there's a fine line between slogging and like for the sake of it, and actually slogging but playing proper cricket shots. And he does that. He's a remarkable player, especially for his age. I think, I first kind of picked up on him in the Big Bash earlier this year. I think he was brilliant for the Renegades. I just think his ceiling is so high. I think he should have potentially been brought along.
he
But
is
I think
reserve.
is he? Was he? Yeah, traveling reserve.
Yeah,
But yeah, I just think that, especially with Warner kind of having his last hurrah, I don't think there was ever any way that Warner
yeah.
wasn't going to be put in the squad.
Weirdly, he's going to end up. Warner might actually be playing sort of as an anchor with Mitchell Marsh and the rest of the top three just going out. And obviously, there's a small miss of Steve Smith, but I didn't really see that as a big miss, anyways, because it didn't really play much T20 cricket for Australia in the recent past. And apart from the fact that he's Steve Smith, there was no other reason to pick him, right?
Look, I think, and this might sound old-fashioned, but to be fair, in the last couple of years, last couple of Big Bash games he's played, he scored like multiple hundreds. I think it's a
Yeah,
very
but
slept on fact that Steve Smith's not a good white ball batter. I think in
not
the
picked at
West
the IPL.
Indies, no, not picked to the IPL, correct. But I think in the West Indies, where the pitches aren't always, flat, I think
Slow
having
turn, whatever.
exactly. I think that having that anchor, because I think that's potentially where Australia could come undone. I don't think they've got the likes of Head and Marsh and Warner, but there's no one there that I look at and I can see who's going to bat through. Obviously, when you're playing in the IPL in India, when the pitches are all like batting on the M25 and the pitches are about as big
The
as
M25 is actually going in for repair, so you can't say that.
yeah, well, to be fair, I think your place is just about as good. So I mean,
Yeah,
look, I think, and then the size of the boundaries there as well, for the most part, are ridiculously small. I think that having the likes of a Steve Smith potentially would have been a good idea, but I can kind of see why they didn't do it.
I think I actually I'm a big fan of this squad. They've gone very hard. They've figured out a way of cricket they want to play, which is whack it really hard, score loads of runs, and score at 17.5 per over. And the one anchor that I do think they might use, if it comes to it, is David Warner. Weirdly, but I guess that's the player he is now at his age with his experience. England, fairly substandard, or not substandard, high standard, but substandard drama, I'd guess. There've been more headline making squad selections in the past, but obviously the obvious one that is Jofra Archer coming back. Great to see. He's bowling relatively quick the other day, hitting 90 miles an hour quite a bit against Pakistan. But how much do you think they're going to use him alongside Mark Wood, and how do they manage him to make sure it doesn't end up back on the treatment table?
Look, I think he was massively overused first time around in international cricket. You look at the series, I think the series that really killed him was the one in South Africa, the Test series. I think he bowled in almost every innings he bowled, or every innings in the games that he played, he bowled at least 20 overs, which is just not really sustainable for someone bowling that quick. And they were long spells as well. It wasn't kind of 5 spells of 4 overs. It was 2 or 3 spells of 8 overs even. So I think that's definitely a way that they could look at improving, using him in shorter, sharper spells like a Mark Wood. I think they've kind of done the right thing as well in the way that they've reintroduced him, kept him in the T20 side of things for now, and then see how he goes in those, and then slowly progressing him. But I think they do need to be very careful because he said it himself. Another long-term injury or any kind of injury from here on out was going to be troublesome for him.
Yeah, it could just. No, I don't think physically, but I think emotionally it might just end him if he gets another long-term run. So they'll have to be careful. But another question I want to ask you is, tell me England's top four, because they've got very powerful top four, which similar to Pakistan, their top four are all openers. So which way do you do it? I'm gonna go Butler, Jacks, Salt, and then Harry Brook. I don't think Bairstow makes a cut in the top four.
I agree. I'm glad you say it. I thought I was going to be kind of like the odd one out in that sense. But I think for me, just because obviously Jax has had that little bit of experience of batting at 3 in the IPL and done, he's been relatively successful in doing so. So I think I'd go with Butler and Salt at the top, and then Jax at 3, and then Brook at 4. But I think that kind of gives a better balance. I think Salt's good when there's only 2 men. Oh, they're all fantastic in the power play, but I think Salt uses that period to its absolute fullest, and he's looking to hit every ball out of the ground. He's kind of as close as a Jake Fraser McGurk type players England have. I think.
Fairs. Okay, we'll stop on that group. Despite Scotland's George Munsey, and I feel like Scotland always have like just random county players who end up playing for Scotland because of whatever. But yeah, they'll be all right. They'll be solid. I think they're going to finish obviously third, Namibia fourth. Oman would actually be a good shout, but I think despite a couple of their hitters, they're not too much to look forward to, is there?
Did you see Scotland called up Ollie Carter, the Sussex bat? I thought it was quite surprising, but yeah, no, I just thought
I know that Josh Davies in their squad, I believe. Yeah, here you go. Scotland. They got Brad Curry, Brad Wheel.
Yeah, Brad Wheel. Yeah,
George Munsey's definitely there. Yeah. They're actually quite good. There's quite a few good players here. Chris Solber's absolute wheels. Brad Curry. They're not bad, but oh well. I guess they're not going to be anywhere near the. I mean, famous last words. They're not going to be anywhere near the top two, but yeah.
No.
We'll move on. Group C, sir. PNG, Papua New Guinea, Afghanistan, Uganda, New Zealand, West Indies. That's interesting. Not particularly on the sides of Papua New Guinea and Uganda, but Afghanistan, New Zealand, and West Indies. 3, I'd say fairly, even in Afghanistan, big T20 international sides. One of them is not going through. Who is not going through?
Look, I think it's a toss-up, and I genuinely think New Zealand are potentially in a conversation for it, but I think I'd have to go.
3 of them, genuinely.
I think the West Indies and New Zealand are always good in international tournaments. I think they will make it through. And West Indies, obviously beating South Africa most recently in the 3-game series. Obviously, South Africa weren't at full strength, nowhere near full strength. But I think that's still a good effort. And when you've got the likes, of Dre Russ and the lot to come back in, I think that they're potential dark horses for this.
I wouldn't say that because they're a home side with a lot of world-class players. But what I'm going to say confidently is Afghanistan is going to make that top 2 spot very, very spicy. They're going to make it really interesting. I think net run rate is going to somehow creep its way in. But I agree with you. New Zealand are going to go through. I don't actually really think they're that good, but because they're New Zealand, they'll find a way because that's how stuff works around here, isn't it? And then the West Indies, their home conditions, favourable stuff. They'll know what to do. They'll get over the line. Afghanistan will make it spicy, but I don't think they've got just enough in these conditions to get over the line.
No, I agree.
You got anything on Papua New Guinea and Uganda? I know Uganda, a decent little. They defeated. I believe they defeated Namibia first and Zimbabwe in the African qualifiers, and that's why Zimbabwe are not at this World Cup. So Sikandar Raza is going to be playing for Northants in the Blast instead.
Yeah, I think they've got a couple interesting players. They have one of those is Dinesh Nakrani, who's an ex Saurashtra cricketer
Okay.
in the Indian state.
Yeah.
In which he scored in T20 cricket 880 runs at 30, an average of 30, and strike rate of 130, which is respectable. And then bowling wise, he's an all rounder. I think he bowls left arm pace.
Tell me about the old
67
guy.
wickets. The old, oh yes, so we've got.
That's what I want to hear. The old guy.
Yeah. So
how old is he?
Frank, he's 43 years old, and
43.
I believe he's the oldest player at this World Cup.
I bloody hope so.
Unsurprisingly, yeah.
When did he make his debut?
Recently as well, in the last 5 years, I think.
No, his international debut.
Yeah. I think it was in 2019.
Wait, how do you spell that name?
Frank Nsubuga.
Bugo.
I might be getting it mixed up, but I think it was quite recent.
Yeah, I think official date. Yeah, his official one in official game was quite recent, but I believe the one his original international Uganda debut was 1998.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Bloody hell.
Like Shoaib Malik.
That's a joke.
I know. Anything on Papua New Guinea? I'll be honest, I don't know too much about them.
Yeah, so they got quite an exciting young fella. I think he's a left armer as well, John Carrico, who's 20 years old. And in 16 games, he's managed 25 wickets and at 11 apiece, which is really good, and an economy of 5. Obviously, not the strongest opposition, but maybe he'll be playing in the IPL someday. Who knows?
Yeah, apparently they're also meant to be one of the best fielding sides going around.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. They got a few athletes in there. Like their squad's pretty young as well overall. So I think that will kind of work to their advantage.
Okay. For the West Indies, I actually think the most informed West Indian cricketer in the world right now is actually not at the World Cup, Sunil Narayan, because he's retired, even though they did request him to come back.
If he was in that squad, Christ.
Yeah. No Jason Holder. He got injured playing for Worcestershire, which is always what you want to happen to one of your best players. But anyways, they bring in Obid McCoy, I think, left arm seamer. He's been around IPL a bit. He'll be all right. Tell me, where do New Zealand bat Rachin Ravindra?
At the top. With
in place
Conway.
So no Finn Allen.
And I think you can maybe fit him in at. I don't think, and as crazy as this sounds, I think he's also the captain. But I don't see. I think in T20 cricket, New Zealand have got to kind of move on from Williamson.
I think Williamson might genuinely just be there. I think he'll be one of those guys where if a couple early wickets fall, they'll chuck him in. But if they don't, he just won't bat.
Yeah, I think that's probably that would be the right way to use him, because when you've got that much talent and that much strike making ability, yeah, exactly. It's silly not to use it, especially in the power play. So I feel like any kind of way you put that top 3 in of Rachin, Conway and Finn Allen, I think it doesn't really matter. But I definitely think that Williamson is not in that top 3.
I agree. I think Finn Allen's going to be there. I think Williamson's going to be like this impact sub without the impact sub rule, as in he'll just be batting at 7 until a wicket falls, and then when a wicket does fall, he'll just pop in at the top. So, anyways, we'll slide over. Group D: Bangladesh, South Africa, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Netherlands.
Look, I think South Africa have been done quite nicely here. To be fair, there are a couple of these games where you look at potential slip-ups. I think, but I do think
This is the group of death. Any of these sides in any of the other groups would
in
have a
terms of
genuine
second
chance
place,
of going through.
yeah. But in terms of, I think South Africa are there. I think
they'll have just enough.
I think it's a toss. I think it's a toss up between the other three. Of
I don't really think so, actually.
Netherlands, Sri Lanka, and who's the other one again?
Nepal,
Nepal. Yeah. Actually, no.
Bangladesh.
Nepal. Yeah, Bangladesh. There we go. Bangladesh. But I actually think Bangladesh will finish fourth, and I think it will be.
No, they're finished bottom.
You think?
I know, actually, Netherlands are missing. I think Ronald van der Merwe is going to be playing for Somerset, so they might be stuck down there.
Yeah.
But if Netherlands were at full strength, I generally think Bangladesh will be finishing bottom. They've been in
I agree.
horrible form.
You think Nepal would pit them?
Nepal are actually doing all right, to be fair. They've got a decent squad out. I don't know what Sandeep Lamichhana's situation is, because I know he's allowed to play cricket. He has played for Nepal recently, but I don't think he was allowed to enter the US for whatever reason. So whatever happens there, but they've still got a very good squad. Like that bloke, Dipendra Singh Airy, apparently gives it an absolute lick, and like he's supposed to be this jet fielder as well. And they've got a genuine decent side for an associate. I think they'll be the next Afghanistan, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
This will definitely be one World Cup too early for them, but the fact they're here is actually quite a big thing anyways.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great for the sport. I think it's a very good initiative to kind of make it a kind of a bigger event in terms of having 20 teams like competing from the start instead of having these qualifiers to get you into groups of fives, and it just felt a little bit elitist before, but now everyone's kind of getting a go.
Yeah, to be fair, it could easily go the way of like South Africa's Klaassen, Miller, and Markram scoring 410 against a depleted Netherlands attack in a T20. But then again, the Netherlands love playing South Africa, so that's not going to happen, is it?
Hello. That is actually the game I'm most worried for. I think we'll absolutely panic Sri Lanka and everyone else, but I think that Netherlands game psychologically, yeah. I think I'm very confident.
I'm putting my hand out there. I think after alongside India, I think Sri Lanka have the best bowling attack of the tournament.
I think it is up there, definitely. You look at the likes of Dikshana, Patirana. We haven't even mentioned
Hasaranga.
Oh, Hasaranga, yeah. And then you got Nuwanta Sada as well. They've got very good bowling attack, but I think South Africa will have too much for them. I think, I'm very confident this year. I think, look, my heart says South Africa will win it, but my actual prediction we'll get onto later.
Your heart is definitely not right. Okay, so we've got in those groups. So the Super 8s, according to our predictions, are going to be Pakistan, India, Australia, England, West Indies, New Zealand, and South Africa, Sri Lanka, right?
Yeah.
And then from there, it goes straight into a final, doesn't it?
Correct. No, semis and then final, I think.
Okay. So the top four from the Super 8s.
Yeah.
Pakistan, out. Sri Lanka, all out. New Zealand
out.
Okay.
I think.
So that leaves us with England, Australia, India, South Africa, and West Indies. Which one of those are not making the semis?
I think I actually wait. Where did I have? I think I had West Indies falling short in the Super 8s. Actually, yeah, I did.
Oh no, I've got them going through.
Have you?
I'm on the West Indies hype train.
I don't hate it. I think they've got a very good chance of doing so. I just
So
think
who
that
misses out then? England, Australia,
um,
India, or South Africa? If the West Indies go in,
I hate to say. Well,
surely
I think
Australia have got a
it then
chance for one
becomes.
tournament.
I hope
They can't win everything.
there's nothing more that I want in this world for Australia not to win an international tournament. But it's just not going to
Okay,
happen.
let's go for it.
Like,
Bold
okay.
prediction.
You know what? Fuck it. Let's go. Let's do it. Australia
Just for the
out.
sake of just for the sake of Australia not winning absolutely everything, they're going to go out in the Super 8s. But to be fair,
That
isn't
sounds
even
good.
that bad. But for
No. Well,
Australia, will take
for their standards, it's failing really. But
I feel like people wake up in Australia after a World Cup win, check their phone. Australia have won the World Cup. They're like happy for 5 minutes and then just go straight to work.
yeah, exactly, mate. It's a weekly occurrence. That
They generally enjoy just the Ashes more because, like, well, it's the Ashes. But yeah,
yeah,
I am very much on the West Indies hype train.
yeah.
Some
No,
big
I
players
agree.
are in big form. I think Andre Russell will be massive at this World Cup, but I do worry about certain parts of their bowling.
Yeah, I
In
think they
particular,
lack. Yeah, agreed.
Akil Hussain will be quite good. Gudakesh Moti will be all right in terms of spin,
Yeah.
but I don't really see. Obviously, no Jason Holder, Owen McCoy. What else is there really?
Shamar Joseph, but again, he was
On
expensive.
that train.
I think
The other Joseph
the thing is,
Alzari.
the thing is, right, with a lot of the West Indies quick bowlers, they bowl too bloody quick and they can't control it. So it just gets nicked for 6 and 4 all day. And they just get absolutely whacked. And it's not really so much their fault. It's just the nature of the game now with the boundaries being so small. I think it doesn't play into their hands.
Well, what I do say is we're putting a lot of belief in a side captained by Joss Butler that nearly finished last at the. I know it was an ODI World Cup, but they did nearly finish last. They're almost the worst team there.
I was close. Do you know what? I think I dislike England, but I feel like my hate for Australia.
I mean, who does like England? Apart from English fans,
yeah.
who likes England?
But my hate for Australia just skyrocketed since they won that last World Cup because it's just absolute the ODI World Cup because
I thought about the other 14
they had no right to win that. It was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
I thought you were talking about the under-19s World Cup, or the Women's World Cup, or the World Test Championship. Oh, you get the point.
Yeah, it's
precisely
really really annoying.
I'll tell you,
just for that, I put England through because
okay,
it's got to happen once.
So by pure numbers, quality, India will obviously be the most well-rounded side. They're sorted for batting. Rishabh Pant's going to be keeping Bumrah bowling, Kuldeep spinners. That they'll never have any issue. Okay, they can put that to one side. After India,
they're good, aren't they? Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh my
okay.
goodness.
Assume India make the final. Who are the second best, most well-rounded side in the tournament? Obviously,
it's South Africa, but England will go through. It is South Africa, but England will go through.
I think England are more, better rounded than South Africa.
Do you think?
As in, you're going to the South Africa top 5. Actually, not even the top 5. So Hendricks and de Kock. I'm not too sure actually.
I'll run you through the team that I would pick. So I'd go de Kock, Hendricks, who's in really good form, red hot form. Rickleton, who's obviously not done it on the international stage yet, but he's been in red hot form in T20 cricket. Then you got Markram, Klaasen, Miller, Stubbs.
Stubbs is not going to bat at 7. I think Rickleton will not make it. It will be it's going to be de Kock, Hendricks open, Markram 3, Klaasen, Miller 4-5, Stubbs 6. Stubbs can't be batting any lower than 6, right? And then Janssen at 7.
No. You left out Markram, I think.
I know I had Markram. Markram's at 3.
No, was it Markram at 3? Yeah, no, that probably. Yeah.
Because I don't see them playing both Rickleton and Hendricks. It's going to be Rickleton or
one or the other. Yeah, one or the other. look, I feel like there's a lot of reliance on that top six, and when it doesn't happen, it might be nice to have a Janssen at 7, but a Stubbs at 7. But I agree that will probably be the best fit squad. And then bowling wise, you're looking at Rabada. I don't think Norkia gets in. I think it'll
I don't
be
think
an
so.
attack of. I think it'll be an attack of Rabada, Utnil Bortman, who's been fantastic. He's been unbelievable this year. Kutsia, he's kind of in the mix, and then depending on the pitch, you play Kutsia or Shamsi, and then obviously Maharaj for me has to be in. He's been
And assuming
fantastic
Janssen,
in the last kind of 18 months, and I just think in white ball cricket especially, his game has kind of gone through the roof. So
but that's my point. If there was the closest matching side to South Africa are England, and in terms of where it's really going to matter, both have got an excellent top six. Both have excellent seam attacks, or Archer, Jordan, Topley, Markwood. They'll be fine. Both sides, obviously Norkia, Rabada. Ingidi's not even in the squad, is he?
He's a travelling reserve. Neither's Berger. They're both reserves.
Exactly. So that's crazy. But my point is, it'll come down to spin. This is the West Indies, and I don't know how many games in the USA, but the knockout stages will be in the West Indies. So it will come down to spin. Maharaj Shamsi, Moeen Ali, Tom Hartley. There's your question mark.
For me, I think South Africa's spinners would edge it. And well, don't forget, you probably get the odd over from Jack if it is all going
Markram
a bit. Yeah, Markram as well. I genuinely think South Africa have got a better all round fit. I think it is tight. I think you're right, but I still think England will go through when it matters. Unfortunately,
fair enough. So essentially, it's going to be India will reach the final, and then it'll be if South Africa get past the semis, they're winning it.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay,
because
but that's
India can't win. India can't win a final.
So India not allowed to win the final, which means England will win.
Yeah.
Lovely. And now all we need to do is tell us who's the top run scorer and the top wicket taker.
Look, again, I think in a tournament that's going to be kind of dominated in terms of spin bowling, I'm looking at bowling wise. I'm looking at Kuldeep Yadav as being my top wicket taker, and batting wise, again, someone who plays spin unbelievably well is Klaasen, and I don't think he'll be top run scorer. I think he'll be up there.
I think he'll be the best. He could be the best batter, not the top run scorer. That's too low for
that. Yeah, potentially. I think it's a toss up between, and again, it's boring, but it's true. It is probably going to be Virat Kohli.
Yeah.
I just think
he's been in good form.
He's so good at the moment. Yeah.
He's been batting at 150 in the IPL.
Average of 60.
Finished top run scorer, and he's found this slog sweep against spin. So
yeah, exactly. I was going to mention. Yeah, exactly that.
So all this
that will be a
like
very big weapon.
So this smells like every other World Cup ever. India are the best team with the best bowler, the best batter, and somehow, I mean,
they don't win it.
At some point, they've got to win it, right?
Do you know what? Actually, do you know what? Now, do you know what? Just because we're going with this kind of what if with knocking Australia out, India to win the World Cup. Go on, let's do it. I'm going that anyway.
The thing it'll be like a Man City thing where they didn't win it for ages, despite having like all the resources, and suddenly they're going to win like 15 in a row.
Yeah, that could be scary.
Oh well, that's the end of international cricket. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for watching. Cheers, Lucas. Hopefully, we'll see you at some point during the tournament to let us all know how it's going. Catch you later, mate.
Yeah, take care, mate. Thank you.